because I heard some people asking about flags, so I'm going to show an example with flags. Then it will work just as expected. You can see, you get informations about flags. So that works with flags, just so you know. And so let's say I'm going to go to Facebook, and we're going to profile a Zynga game, like Citadel, and see what's happening now. So let's go to Monocle. That's their game. So you see this pattern that at the beginning of an app, in every Flash application, you have too much stuff happening. And that's because we don't have multi-threading. So now in the future, you'll be able to move stuff in the background that will require architecture changes. But you're way over budget here, and it's not good. That means the application will stutter. And that's something, a pattern that we see in most Flash applications for now, because they don't use ActionScript workers. So let's go here. Every time I do this demo all the time, I'm pretty sure the guys at Zynga must have those stats. Like, this guy is crazy. He's always rebuilding the same thing over and over. So okay, this is the session summary is extremely useful. Like, right away I can see where are the problems. And then obviously you can see that this is when I started interacting with the screen. So I'm going to select a frame, but first if I just I can see the time it takes in rendering. And this is when you work with software. The interesting part in here is that if you use Stage 3D, the yellow is actually it just disappear. If you're using software and displays, it can actually be big. So by just hovering and using my touchpad, I can scale that down. And using this too. And okay, it's spending 44 milliseconds on the frame on ActionScript, and it's spending 55 milliseconds on rendering. Let's click here. And this is the frame stat. And this is the duration of the frame. And it tells me at this frame you were at 6 frames per second. So you're at 21% of the target. It's really bad. And I'm 300% over budget. So what is the budget? The budget is this red line, and the budget is calculated the following way. It's 1,000 milliseconds divided by the frame rate, and you get the budget. So on a 30 frames per second, the budget is 30 milliseconds. So if you're doing good, and it's here, you're not spending all the budget, that's good. You're spending 10 milliseconds and rendering 24, 26 milliseconds. You're not over budget. You're doing good. Here, you're bad. You're spending way too much time. So let's take this frame, and I can see what I'm doing on the sequence. There's first an event into frame. The interframe generates a rendering operation, and then there's a mouse click, there's the GC stuff happening, and blah, blah, blah. I can go to the metrics summary, and actually the metrics summary will not tell us more. I'm just going to sampler, and I can see what happened when I clicked. Let's do an expand. Oh, sorry. Let's do top down, and I'm going to do an expand all. This is what happened. And I can see which function is spending the time. So it seems like the build cell is spending most of the time. So I can do here, get some information and filter that. But you see, this is where most of the time is spent, and I can optimize that and see what is. So for instance, this add child is being triggered by an instantiation and a catalog setup. And if I would do a total time, then I would get the most expensive functions, and I would actually see that what is costing most of the time here is instantiating playing the sound. So you can now yell at us immediately and say, how come the sound is not faster? So we give you access to those information in a very easy way through the release player. So I'm not using the debugger. So you're exporting as a release build. It's not a debugger build. So even your trace statements would show up in Monocle. And what's even better is from ActionScript, we give you access to a package called flash.profiler.telemetry, and you have APIs to know if you're connected to Monocle and send information to Monocle. So in your framework, you can have a layer that tells that you piggyback on the protocol and you display information inside. So that's really, really powerful. Now, what I can do is go on Monocle on the sorry, not stage 3, but the original regions. And what's great is you can use Monocle as a remote profiler. My machine could run Monocle, and you in the audience could run the Citadel game by just configuring my IP, the Monocle settings, well, you would enter my IP in the settings manager of the player. Then I would be able to profile your session, so we're not using the same computer to run and profile it. And you can automate that so that you can do amazing, automated testing and get information regarding the performance of an app, and save that as a document, as an FLM file, and then do difference and generate reports out of them. If I select multiple frames, I'm going to have information regarding the redrawn and the surfaces, the bitmaps created, and also aggregation in the sampler of what is costing most of the time here. And again, you can see that there's the vector output doing the sort, there's an array push. So right away you can see the things you can start optimizing. And as I showed in the keynote, if you use stage 3D, then you can go to stage 3D applications. So that's a stage 3D application developed by Nissan, or for Nissan. And the way it works is you have this. You want to profile that. Monocle is already gathering all information here. And you see, it's a stage 3D app, no rendering cost at all. Let's change the color. Change the wheels. It's using Away 3D, and it's got models of 3 Max. Sweet. Now let's get started. We can actually side and give it a try and actually drive that. Okay, sweet. And I can come back in Monocle and get information regarding the profiling session. You see it's doing a good job, and here I'm spending way too much time. Okay, there's a get mouse enabled in the Away 3D stuff. I'm spending much time. I'm setting the texture. Okay, let's do a total time. Okay, I can concentrate on that, and on the draw triangle, obviously, there's a lot of GC stuff, maybe some optimization on the allocation. And what I can do is come in the stage 3 simulator and come back. So you see, there's a lot of commands being processed on the frame because it's a high quality experience. And I can come back, see that frame, oh, that's a bug, and replay that, and get the information inside the sampler about the different commands that got executed inside Monocle and in the player. And you can see that across all those frames, from 1200 to 200 to this one, then I'm using 58% of the budget, very smooth, 25 per second, it's pretty solid. A lot of stuff happening in ActionScript. Most of the stuff, you can see the stage 3, there's no excited. I heard good stuff on Twitter about Monocle. We also have big plans with Monocle. We're doing testing on devices and everything. So I hope you guys really like it. Sorry.